Hi guys, it's V from Embers of Consciousness, and today I want to talk about spending time alone. This was something that I had never really done in my life. I hadn't lived alone up until now. I really did not spend a lot of time alone. And you know that saying, I'm not going to say it right, but it's something about like people who spend a lot of time in solitude, like they are usually like more connected and have a lot of wisdom. Well, I'm beginning to see why. So I want you to kind of sit with these things and kind of think about how much time you spend alone. Now, I know that we're all different, right? Some of us are social butterflies. I know lots of social butterflies. I can be one. And that's different than what I'm talking about, okay? So for me, one of the reasons why I did not ever spend time alone was because I was goddamn terrified of being alone with me, being alone with my thoughts, of facing myself, of sitting with my feelings. Because when we're around others and we're distracted by what we're doing or we get caught up in their problems, we don't have to deal with our own shit, right? So for me, of course, this was not like in my conscious thought process, right? It's not like I was like always making sure I was around people. It's not like I was like, oh, that's because I'm scared to sit with myself. Like, this has taken time to unpack all of this. But for me, really understanding this was key to turning it around. I had such a hard problem being alone and facing myself that I would numb out. So my ex-husband, when I was married to him at the time, had a job where he had to travel a lot. One of the years, it was 6 months out of the year. And this was really hard for me. Again, had never really lived alone. And so my coping mechanism was to drink and to numb out. So I began, every time I had to be alone, I would drink until I kind of passed out and went to sleep. Again, at the time, I didn't really fully understand why some of these things were happening, why I had these patterns and behaviors. But now I've come to see. So one of the things one of my points is just really, are you okay with being alone with you? Is there things that you're doing to distract yourself, to numb yourself? And then since we're talking about, spending time alone, solitude, are you doing that? Are you taking those moments for introspection? The other couple things that I've noticed, I got really clear directives from my guides that I needed to silence the external chatter. So there have been some circumstances recently, in the recent past for me, that really tested my faith. And there was a moment when I lost it. But part of the reason I lost my faith in my own intuition and knowing, and there's a whole video about that if you guys want to check that one out, was because I was letting all the external chatter get to me. Now, this could have been direct, indirect, intended or not intended to affect me from other sources outside of me, people mainly. And a lot of them were trying to help. They were trying to help. But what that did is it's like I opened a door and I allowed for, okay, because here's the deal. Even if they have the best intentions to help me, One, only you know the situation better than anybody. And two, what they were bringing in with their advice and their opinions was their projections from everything that they have experienced in their own life. So if they had a situation that they related to what was going on with me, it was no longer objective. And so what was happening is I was getting all of this external information, and even if I consciously was like, I don't agree with you, subconsciously it was seeping in. And it was clouding my judgment, my ability to see and hear and what I know. So that was another reason. So one, looking at why you avoid solitude, potentially, possibly, if this is your case. Are you afraid to face yourself? Two, are you being saturated with external chatter that's disabling you to remember your autonomy and that inner knowing, connecting with your higher self? The other thing that's pretty related to the external chatter that I didn't know about this, I didn't know that this was affecting me. You are constantly absorbing other people's energies. Some of us are more sensitive than others, and it will also vary on the person you are connecting with. Some of us have a very strong connection, almost telepathic, and you can feel everything they're feeling. And if the connection isn't as strong, you might just pick up on some of their energies. So that's something to remember too. But I, up until recently, didn't know how sensitive I was to other people's energies. So this isn't just the words that they're speaking to me, like the external chatter piece, which is also important. But this is even more energetically what they're speaking to me. That could have been them seeing me as a victim. And so I'm taking in that victim template on an energetic level. It could be them seeing me as a hot mess. I don't know, like a shit show. And instead of me seeing that as part of the healing, purging process, going deeper to heal, which is what was going on, I let that energy of, oh no, I'm crazy. Yeah, I am a shit show. I'm a mess. I was letting that seep in too. Those are just a couple examples, but as I continue doing this work and connecting more and more on a deeper level, I'm also increasing those energetic connections. And while that is amazing and beautiful in so many ways, I had to really learn how to discern what is mine and what's not. And that's really hard to do. And so for me, it has to be a combination of energy clearings and taking time alone. That is the best, most efficient, quickest way for me to connect back to my higher self and to clear all of the energies from everyone else. And then guess what? When I come back, I'm in a more sovereign state to be able to interact with people in a much more positive way because it's more pure. It's more me. So those are a couple things I just wanted to have you guys kind of just start seeing if you can shift around spending time alone and all of the benefits to it, and how just potent it can be in your healing process. Please share the video, drop me a comment, and I am sending you all the love and light.